Have you ever felt anger flare up when someone disrespects you? A harsh remark, a contemptuous glance, or a dismissive action, all of these can ignite rage. Your instinct may urge you to react immediately, to retaliate, to prove that you are not weak. But pause for a moment. Stoics do not let emotions control them. They do not react impulsively, nor do they let anger take over. They understand that true strength lies not in retaliation, but in mastering oneself. Composure in the face of disrespect. Lesson 1. Mastering emotions. The wise are not easily provoked. Have you ever reacted impulsively only to regret it later? A thoughtless word, a hasty action, or a decision made in anger, all can lead to long-lasting consequences. Seneca once said, "When you are angry, you not only suffer a present harm, but also create a bad habit for the future." Anger is not just an immediate reaction. It can become a pattern in your thoughts and actions if left unchecked. The weak let emotions control them. They get angry when insulted, anxious when criticized, and hurt when belittled. But Stoics are different. They do not let their minds be swayed by external things. They understand that anger does not help them. It only causes them to lose control of themselves. Controlling emotions is true strength. Modern society encourages quick reactions. An offensive comment on social media? Respond immediately. A hurtful remark? Retaliate right away. But try pausing for a moment. When someone disrespects you, take a deep breath. Stay calm and ask yourself, is my reaction right now truly necessary? Stoics train themselves to always pause before reacting. They do not let anyone or anything control their emotional state. If someone insults you, you have two choices. React immediately and let emotions take over. This might lead you to say or do something you regret. Pause, reflect, and respond calmly. This gives you control, helping you stay clear-headed and act rationally instead of emotionally. Choosing the second option does not mean you are weak. On the contrary, it shows your strength in self-control. Someone may try to provoke you, but if you do not react as they expect, they lose their power over you. Your emotions, your control. Epictetus once said, "No one can make you angry unless you allow it." This means you have full control over your emotions. If you let someone else's insult make you angry, you have handed them control over your emotions. But if you remain calm, you stay in charge. The next time you feel anger rising, remember, anger is a choice, not a reflex. You have the power to choose not to let emotions control you. And when you achieve this, you will become stronger than ever. Lesson 2. Empathy. No one is against you. They are struggling with themselves. When someone insults you, have you ever stopped to ask, why did they do that? Most of us assume it's a personal attack, but the truth might be entirely different. Harsh words, disrespect, or negativity from others often don't reflect your worth. They reflect their inner turmoil. Epictetus taught, don't seek goodness from outside, find it within yourself. This means happiness, worth, and peace don't come from how others treat you, but from how you choose to perceive things. The person who insults you isn't truly against you. They are struggling with themselves. The one who hurts you may also be hurting guy. Take a moment to observe those who are rude, disrespectful, or unkind to others. Are they truly happy? Often the answer is no. People who constantly criticize, insult, or hurt others are usually deeply wounded inside. They might feel insecure, fearful, or angry at their own lives. When someone speaks harshly to you, they may be projecting their pain onto you. If you understand this, their words will no longer hurt you. You'll stop asking, why did they do this to me? And instead think, perhaps they're struggling with something in their life. Empathy is not weakness. Understanding others doesn't mean excusing their wrongful behavior. You don't have to tolerate disrespect, but you also don't need to react with anger or negativity. When you practice empathy, you prevent their actions from affecting your mental state. Stoics aren't overwhelmed by emotions when insulted because they know others' reactions belong to them, while your reactions belong to you. When someone is rude to you, you have a choice. Respond with anger or recognize that it's not your problem. The next time someone tries to hurt you, remember they are human, with their own fears and insecurities. Respond with empathy instead of anger, because in the end, you are the one who maintains peace within your soul. Lesson 3. Virtue is your compass. Don't let others' actions pull you off your path. In life, you cannot control how others treat you. They may disrespect you, judge you, or even try to bring you down. But what you can control is how you respond. This is the most important lesson in personal growth and wisdom for life. Imagine you're walking a long road toward a great goal in your life. Along the way, there will always be people throwing stones at you. Criticism, insults, disdainful looks. What will you do? Stop to argue with them, or keep moving forward with determination? The most successful and respected people in history share one thing in common. They didn't let others' actions change their path. Instead of reacting with anger, they chose virtue as their compass, staying calm and focused on their own values. Respond with wisdom and dignity. A wise person doesn't lose themselves because of others' behavior. When insulted, ask yourself, how can I respond in a way that preserves my dignity? This isn't just life lessons. It's a principle to keep your spirit strong through every challenge. If someone criticizes you, you can calmly analyze instead of getting angry. If someone insults you, you can choose dignified silence instead of reacting impulsively. If someone tries to provoke you, you can smile and move on instead of letting them drag you down. Motivation in life doesn't come from winning against others, but from staying true to your own values. Masters of calmness. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic leaders, once said, "You have power over your mind. Stand up and follow the right path." Those with far-reaching vision never let negative emotions overwhelm them. They know that every loss of control is a loss of themselves. You don't need to prove your worth by arguing with those who insult you. Let your actions, your calmness, and your success be the strongest response. Conclusion: become the best version of yourself. The world will always have negative people, but you don't have to be like them. You have your own path, a worthy goal, and a meaningful life. The next time someone tries to pull you down, remember, they cannot control you. Only you can do that. Live with virtue, wisdom, and dignity, because that is the greatest inspiration for your life. Lesson 4. Accepting the truth. No one can hurt you unless you allow them. Have you ever felt hurt by someone's words or actions? A criticism, an insult, or a disdainful look, these can make you feel pained, angry, or lose confidence. But pause for a moment and think, do these things truly have the power to hurt you, or have you given them that power? Epictetus taught, what happens doesn't matter, what matters is how you perceive it. This means no one can hurt you unless you allow them to. An insult only has value if you pay attention to it, and pain only exists if you agree to accept it. You have the power to choose your emotions. Imagine you're walking down the street and someone shouts an insult at you. You could react immediately, get angry, and let it ruin your entire day. Or you could smile lightly, move on, and not let it affect your mood. The difference here isn't what happened, but how you choose to respond. You can choose anger, or you can choose calmness. You can feel insulted, or you can simply let it go. Remember, you cannot control others' actions, but you can control how you perceive and react to them. Peace comes from letting go. We often make ourselves miserable by clinging to things we cannot control, dwelling on harsh words, disrespectful actions, or life's injustices. But you cannot change the past, nor can you control others' thoughts. The only thing you can control is your own mind. Let go of what doesn't matter. When someone insults you, don't see it as your problem. See it as a reflection of them, not you. Stoics understand that holding on to anger or pain is like punishing yourself for someone else's mistakes. Be the master of yourself. Life will always have its disappointments, but you have full control over how you face them. If you choose calmness, no one can hurt you. If you choose happiness, no one can steal the peace in your soul. The next time someone disrespects you, remember, they don't have the right to decide your emotions unless you give them that power. Lesson 5. Using humor. A smile can shatter negativity. The text you provided is already grammatically correct and contains no spelling errors. However, if you'd like any stylistic adjustments or improvements, feel free to let me know. Here's the original text for reference. Have you ever seen someone face an insult with a smile? They don't get angry, don't argue, don't dwell on the harsh words. Instead, they smile gently, perhaps add a humorous remark, and walk away confidently. That's the power of humor, a secret weapon that lets you control the situation instead of letting it control you. Seneca once said, "You've mastered yourself when you know what isn't worth your attention." This means you don't need to take everything seriously, especially undeserved insults. When someone disrespects you, they often expect an angry reaction, expect you to lose control, expect you to give them power. But if you smile, a confident, non-sarcastic smile, you strip away their weapon instantly. Humor isn't avoidance, it's control. Many people mistakenly think using humor when insulted is a sign of weakness, but in reality, it's a sign of intelligence and strength. When you use humor, you're not avoiding the issue, you're controlling it in your own way. Imagine someone says to you, "You're so useless, you can't do anything." You could get angry, argue, or react negatively. But instead, you could smile and say, "Thanks, at least I'm good at making you annoyed." The result, they lose control of the situation. You maintain your calmness and dignity. No tension or escalating conflict. Humor helps you master your emotions. Why is humor so effective? Because it helps you distance yourself from the situation. When you can laugh, you've already won. It shows that you're not swayed by negative emotions, not dragged into someone else's game. Remember, humor isn't mockery or sarcasm. It's not meant to hurt others, but a way to protect yourself without losing respect for them. A smile, confounding those who insult you. If someone tries to provoke you, they expect an angry reaction. But if you smile and say, "Thanks, I'll think about it," they won't know how to proceed. They'll feel confused because their plan has failed. Let humor be the armor that shields you from life's negativity. When you smile, you're the winner. Lesson 6. Setting boundaries. Stand firm like a rock. Have you ever felt caught in a whirlwind of negative words or disrespectful actions, unsure of what to do? Many people think living by Stoic principles means accepting everything, enduring insults silently. But that's completely wrong. Stoicism isn't passive endurance. It's standing firm in adversity, calm yet strong when facing injustice. When someone crosses your boundaries, you don't need to respond with anger or argue. You don't need to attack, but you also don't need to tolerate it. Simply and firmly say, "I don't accept this," not a request for permission. It's a statement from someone who knows their own worth. Your value isn't decided by others. Imagine you're a solid rock in the middle of a rushing river. The water may flow fiercely, waves may crash against you, but you remain steady, unmoved. Insults and disdain from others are like those waves. They only affect you if you let them seep into your mind. People with self-respect always know how to set boundaries. They don't let others treat them disrespectfully at will. But they don't need to shout, argue, or prove anything. They simply hold their ground. Boundaries aren't against others, they're to protect yourself. When you set boundaries, you're not opposing anyone, you're protecting yourself. You're affirming that you deserve to be treated with respect. If someone continues to cross those boundaries, you have the right to walk away. You don't need their approval, nor do you need to please everyone. Remember, a rock doesn't move in the wind, and neither should you. Stand firm, stay resolute, and don't let anyone decide your value except yourself. Lesson 7. Forgiveness. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. There are words and actions that hurt you deeply. You might feel betrayed, insulted, or disrespected. Anger flares up and you want to retaliate to prove you're not easily dismissed. But pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this really worth losing my peace over? Marcus Aurelius once said, "You can always choose to have no opinion about this. No one can force you to be angry." Forgiveness doesn't mean you agree with someone's wrongdoing. It means you refuse to let anger control you. You forgive not because they deserve it, but because you deserve a mind free from resentment. Think about it. When you hold on to hatred, who suffers the most? Not the one who insulted you, but you. Every time you revisit the insult, you hurt yourself again. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, the gift of relief, freedom, and peace. Let go, not for them, but because you deserve to be happy. Lesson 8. Changing your perspective. Is this really important? Have you ever let a minor insult haunt you for an entire day? A careless remark from someone, a disrespectful action, or even just a scornful look? All of these can make you think for hours, days, or even months. But pause for a second and ask yourself, will this still matter to me in 5 years? If the answer is no, why are you bothering? Words have no power unless you give them power. Marcus Aurelius, one of Rome's greatest emperors, once said, "We suffer not because of what happens, but but because of how we perceive it. If someone calls you useless, does that make you useless? If someone looks down on you, does that diminish your true value? No. Your worth isn't decided by others' words. Your worth is shaped by your actions, your character, and your mindset. Insults only have power when you accept them, let them creep into your mind, and allow them to control your emotions. But if you refuse to give them power, they become meaningless. Think of a rock standing firm in a storm. The wind blows, the rain falls, but the rock doesn't move. You can be like that too. You can control how you perceive things. Stoics understand that the world is full of chaos and things beyond control. You can't change how others think about you or stop negative words directed at you, but you can control how you perceive them. Imagine two people receiving the same insult. The first gets angry, reacts strongly, and spends the whole day dwelling on it. The second smiles lightly and continues their work, paying no attention to it. Who do you think is stronger? The Stoic is the second person. Small things aren't worth losing your peace over. Your life is worth far more than a few petty insults. You have dreams to chase, goals to achieve, and values to build. Why let a meaningless remark derail your path? Remember, what you focus on grows stronger. If you keep thinking about an insult, you're giving it control over your emotions. But if you ignore it and live with dignity, it fades like a passing breeze. The final question, will you remember this in 5 years? The next time someone says something that bothers you, pause for a second and ask, will this still matter to me in 5 years? If not, smile, move on, and let the world keep spinning. Lesson 9. Focus your energy on what matters. Don't waste time on anger. Have you ever stopped to ask yourself, how am I using my time? Time is the most precious asset we have. Once it's gone, it can't be reclaimed. And Stoics understand that every moment spent on anger is a moment stolen from a meaningful life. You can choose to spend your time being angry at someone who insulted you, arguing with someone unworthy, or drowning in resentment. But does that bring you closer to your goals? Does it make you stronger? Does it help you achieve anything in life? The answer is always no. Anger is a trap. Anger can make you feel powerful for a moment. It gives you the illusion that you're in control, that you're reclaiming justice. But in reality, it only makes you lose control of yourself. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have the power to have no opinion about something, and if you have no opinion, it cannot disturb you." If someone insults you, you have two choices. Spend your time getting angry, reacting, feeling frustrated. Spend your time growing, learning, improving, and becoming stronger. Stoics always choose the second path, because every minute spent on anger is a minute lost, a missed chance to become better. Turn negativity into motivation. Instead of letting negative words drag you down, use them as fuel to rise up. If someone says you're not good enough, prove them wrong with your actions. If someone looks down on you, let your success be your response. Strong people don't waste time on anger. They turn every adversity into motivation to become unstoppable. So, what will you choose? Waste your energy on things that don't matter, or use it to build a life worth living. Lesson 10. Stay resilient. Emotions don't define you. Your actions do. In life, you can't control how others treat you. They might disrespect, criticize, or deliberately insult you, but there's one thing you can always control: how you respond. Stoics don't let fleeting emotions dictate their actions. They don't let negative words change who they are. When someone insults you, ask yourself, does my reaction right now truly reflect the person I want to become? Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have the power to keep your mind steady. Don't let external things overwhelm you." If someone calls you incompetent, it doesn't make you incompetent. If someone looks down on you, it doesn't diminish your worth. Only your actions define who you are. Resilience is true strength. A strong person isn't swayed by others' words. They hold on to their dignity, reason, and principles no matter what happens. The next time someone tries to provoke you, take a deep breath and remind yourself, I'm stronger than these words. I'm not controlled by emotions. I am in charge of myself. Let your actions prove your worth, not your passing emotions. Summary: 10 Stoic lessons to stay strong against disrespect. Life is full of challenges, and one of them is how we face disrespect. But instead of letting it hurt you, you can choose a different path, the path of calmness, wisdom, and strength. The 10 Stoic lessons you've explored not only help you handle insults, but also empower you to master your emotions, maintain your dignity, and focus on what truly matters. Control your emotions instead of letting them control you. Practice empathy to understand that someone insulting you often stems from their own pain. Let virtue guide you. Don't let others pull you off your path. Accept what you can't control, because peace comes from within, not from the outside world. Use humor to render insults meaningless. Set clear boundaries without anger or arguments. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Change your perspective, because most things bothering you today will be irrelevant in the future. Focus your energy on what's useful instead of wasting it on anger. Stay resolute, because your actions, not your emotions, define who you are. Now the question is, which path will you choose? Will you let emotions lead you, or will you take charge of yourself? If you want to keep exploring powerful lessons from Stoicism, hit subscribe Sonic Pathways channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any content. Become the strongest version of yourself.